Okay, here we are coming up on the middle of February. Our weather outside staying very cold. We haven't moved into another part of a house yet. We're trying to just keep everything, the three areas we have heated. We're still in our propagating house. You still see this is our first seed that you saw them last week. They're growing, getting ready to transplant. We have transplanted our first tomatoes. These tomatoes here are going to be going into our gallon pots later, but we got them planted this week. We have a lot of crops right now that are all in their little cell packs. Are rooted. They're going to be needing planted pretty soon. We'll be planting a lot of them in our propagating bench. This week we had in our last set of unrooted cuttings. I think we had somewhere around 4,500 cuttings coming in. Coleus, verbena, and sun patience. We sell a lot of sun patience now, so we have a lot of sun patience put in. And we're still germinating a few more seeds. It won't be too long, we'll be putting a lot of seeds in. From here, we're going to take a quick jaunt over to a house that we're growing our geraniums in. And I'm going to talk a little bit about, if you're in the greenhouse business, things that you shouldn't do. Because we kind of got a habit of doing certain things that we really shouldn't do. This house here, we kind of pack it full. We put in twice as many baskets as we should. My son, who has an engineering degree, always tells me, "Dad, you're going to collapse a greenhouse someday hanging that many baskets in them. A lot of weight hanging on them." But half of these baskets will eventually come out. But right now, to get as much going as we can, we have baskets hanging high, hanging low, tight together. One thing you should never do, but this week we had some crops that needed planted and we didn't want to move into another greenhouse yet, so we planted under a bench. You should not be trying to grow plants under a bench. But next week when we move, we'll get these out and get them up on a bench and in a little better area. But for right now, we had them, they were going to start going downhill in their little cell packs, so we put them in the pots and had to hide them under a bench. So next week our weather is going to warm up a little bit. We have a real cold weekend coming up. Going to be down in single digits. Next week it'll warm up and we'll be filling the other half of this house up. So next week we'll have more stuff to show you. Happy Valentine's Day.